If you've got a hankering for horror, a craving for creepiness, or simply a taste for terror, then slice into a feast of frights served up by the nation's top terror attractions. From the ghoulish graveyards of St. Louis to a haunted hellmouth in Long Island. Grab your guts, check your wits at the door, and plunge into the living nightmares of America's Scariest Halloween Attractions.
Prepare to meet your doom.
A town can't be haunted unless it has a history. And this small community on Long Island has been haunted by its past for more than a century. Barnabas Bay founded the town of Bayville in the 19th century. He was a known vampire and a carnival entrepreneur. He built a theme park to welcome his visitors. But what began as entertainment ended in mystery and murder.
All of the disappearances, all of the suspected murders that took place, they are real and documented. We tell people to be on their guard.
His guests would enter and never be seen again. The locals feared to leave their homes at night. There were tales of undead creatures stalking the old Bay family home, and there were nightly sightings of vampires and ghouls feeding in the moonlight.
I think the dead are our co-conspirators in this operation.
On Halloween night in 1951, the mansion was boarded up. Recently, against the wishes of local historians, it was reopened, and now every October, the doors of the mansion are unlocked if anyone wants to enter.
Yeah, no, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm scared.
Bloodworth Manor was the original Bay family estate.
It's the first on everybody's list when they come to the park.
We heard the haunted house was the scariest thing in Long Island for the past 2 years or something, so we wanted to come check it out. Come play with me!
This place is definitely, truly haunted. The Bay family is too numerous, and they're in the woodwork all over the place.
As you can see, many of our rooms are occupied by different souls every night.
You're going to find some great scares the whole way, but two of my favorite would be the pig room and the zombies with the chainsaws.
I can't see anything!
You've got 5 or 6 pigs hanging bloody, strobe lights, man in a chainsaw, and you don't know how to get out of it. It's the greatest thing.
You weave through the maze of dark rooms. The library, the kitchen, and the bedrooms are of no comfort in this mansion.
I'm gonna kill you, boss!
My heart is beating so fast!
Some say the house itself is evil. The screams of the terrified visitors are music to these monsters' ears.
People love to get scared. People want to feel that realism of a horror movie. And a lot of people don't know how to scare.
Scaring is an art form.
I get people screaming all the time. It's a lot of fun. It's deeply satisfying.
You could sneak up on someone and saying, "Oh, I'm going to kill you." And then there's the creepy, gory scare. Guts and severed arms and limbs. You walk into a room where there's a big bloody mess. Inherently, there's the possibility of getting frightened to death.
The actors are good. They do come out of nowhere, and they're very creepy. They play roles, creepy roles.
But which are actors? And which are the undead residents of the manor?
You need a combination of all the effects to scare people properly. You need the props and the scenery to be gory and set the mood. You need the animated characters to impress them and to grab their attention. And then you need that perfect actor scare to come in and scare them out of their wits when they least expect it.
And when you're enveloped in the dark of night, you're easy prey.
The best victims are women between the age of 18 and 25. And we take full advantage of that every way we can.
you scare someone to the point of shuddering uncontrollably, it's like a drug, one that you need to have again and again.
It's exciting. It makes them feel alive. You're inside a theatrical production that you can't get any other way. We make it as scary as we possibly can.
Don't forget to come back. Uncle will always be here. Welcome to Texas.
Things are heating up in Austin, Texas, and at the House of Torment, chaos has gone hog wild. Frightening farm animals are on the loose, and terror thrives in the dark.
When you go into the House of Torment this year, our theme is a post-apocalyptic, devastated city that's kind of been taken over by monsters and zombies.
These monsters and zombies are in a foul mood, and tragically, for the unsuspecting patrons, the shocks come from every angle. While you keep your eyes on the sky, they get you from the ground.
And when you're looking at them on the ground, what you don't realize is we have these aerial stunt rigging systems. We actually have monsters on zip lines, and when you're misdirected, they fly right over your head.
I'm glad I don't have heart problems, but I think I might have them right this minute.
That's pretty scary. My throat hurts from screaming. My favorite part is just when you turn a corner and somebody pops out and you just want to scream your lungs out.
The lines are long at the House of Torment, where you're greeted by your ghostly host.
I am the cordial cadaver here in House of Torment. I spook and greet all the good bulls and ghouls here in Austin, Texas. I'm gonna rip your face off and use it as toilet paper. I'm gonna spit it on your throat.
But it's that type of character that people want. They want that realism.
Get a move on you, maggot.
The customer wants to see a real monster, movie quality, and that's what we do.
After zoning out with the zombies, head to Illusion Manor, where your nightmares work the day shift. It's a place where reality collides with fantasy, and dark hallways take you through a maze of mind-bending mayhem.
To the darkness we go, don't you worry about a thing.
One of the crowd favorites is our anti-gravity room. You walk into this room and it seems like gravity is being defied. Balls roll uphill. People are standing at a slant, and you really can't figure what's going on. People have said, how did you get a gyroscope inside of a haunted house? How did you create G-force on my body? How did you put all this pressure on different sides of me? I don't understand how you did that. It's the anti-gravity room.
Come on, faster, faster. Come on.
Well, we have a control room, and we have 10 TVs monitoring 4 to 8 cameras throughout the haunted house. On your control panel, you have a button relative to each camera in the haunted house, and that controls an animatronic.
Basically what I do is I try to time the props for when the customer is least expecting the action. It's a fun experience to go ahead and be paid for scaring people.
And the only way out is past the ghastly gross-out of the 10-foot sewer monster.
We use a lot of misdirection, so when you walk into a room or you walk into a scene, the way it's lit, where the sound is coming from, we get you to look over here, but then the scare comes from over there. We attack them emotionally, psychologically, and then physically as well. And when you couple those things together, you just get an extreme, thrilling experience.
I see you come to play with me and tell the bell.
Coming up, It's a room with no view.
Welcome to the torture chamber.
In the fields between Baltimore and Washington, D.C., lies a castle ruin. A place where the vanquished souls of an ancient battle live in torment, and they're all willing to share. Welcome to Bennett's Curse, a macabre hybrid of Renaissance fair and medieval monstrosities.
We created Bennett's Curse because there's a demand for it. There's been a lack of haunted attractions here in Maryland for a long time now, and we recognize that challenge to bring an attraction in Maryland that people will stay in state for. And the tradition has been to leave the state for many years, and we've been lucky enough to create an attraction that people stay here and they enjoy and they come back every year.
A movie, you know it's fake, it's in a movie, but haunted house, it's actually up close.
Upon entering, you come face to face with a face, the gatekeeper.
Basically tells them what's in store and what to expect as they're going through the attraction.
The gatekeeper lays down the laws that would send valiant knights heading for the hills.
Enter now through the door and prepare to meet your doom.
As they make their way through, they're going to enter a massive torture chamber.
Welcome to the torture chamber.
It's a room with no view.
Never make it out of here.
And all these medieval torture devices that they're going to encounter as they go through, they might actually, some of these people come to life.
While the torture chamber in Bennett's Curse goes for the gore, the real terror comes from the unknown.
We definitely try out different techniques and different scare methods, and as they appear to work with the crowd, and we feed off the crowd, and they really get a lot of good reaction from it. We'll definitely take that and take it to more levels and try to get as many scares as we can get.
The cast of Bennett's Curse employs terror techniques perfected in the Dark Ages.
The thing that gets me really hyped up, I listen to some nice hardcore rock music to get me going. And then after I get in costume, my heart just starts beating until that first group comes through. It's awesome.
Girls are the ones we really try to go after. Sometimes you'll get the guys too. Sometimes the guys are great as well, and they get into it just as well. If everyone gets into it and there's a lot of excitement, that's what really gets us going, and we really enjoy doing it. And that feeds us, gets us all pumped up. What scares people the most, I say a monster. I would say definitely a monster. We got some really cool ones in here, and I think a lot of the reaction we've gotten from a lot of the customers that came through have really enjoyed the monsters.
They're nasty, they're hungry, and they'll get you every time.
I like to go after the big guys because those are the guys who, come in and they think they're not going to get scared. And I like that challenge to come in and go after those guys.
When it comes to dishing out heart attacks, there's plenty to go around.
It was really good. Yeah, I was good. Best one ever.
I had no expectations. It's my first one, so I didn't know what it was going to be like, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, chain fences are pretty cool.
Yeah, chain fences with strobe lights. That was rough.
I'm like walking.
A mother came through with a group with her young son, and we jumped out. We did a scare, and she freaked so bad that she just ran out and left her son, petrified, standing there all by himself.
It took real guts for Mom to come to the rescue.
And of course she came back and got him, but I thought it was, a mother could leave her child, we must have been doing something right.
At Bennett's Curse, no one is safe. Not even us. This hulk of a structure near Buffalo, New York, is a grim neighborhood of 5 haunted houses. What began as a backyard Halloween party has mutated into a macabre circus of shocks.
Our attraction would be different because we have 5 different themes. And we go after a feeling like a theme park, or what we like to call a scream park.
In regards to Fright World calling itself a scream park, it's because we have so many different themed attractions, and we give people different things to scream about.
Chainsaw got me both times. I started running.
At Fright World, evil eyes spot their victims who have no idea they're working with a bunch of clowns.
I love scaring people, and I love this time of year.
Just being myself, you know, just getting in that mind state, getting ready, you know, going to a place, you know, I wish I could live in, a clown house, you know, just scare all that who come in my house. You know, it's crazy.
Customers come in, they have all the visuals, they get the lighting, the sound helps just kind of play, like, gives them their own little world. And the actors help see that world through. They're able to be able to riff off of the customers, and the makeup pretty much the makeup and the costuming helps complete that. But to really mess with the person's head, you really have to make the person look as if they belong in that world.
4 makeup artists work like demons to bloody up the cast of Fright Masters.
On weekends, we have more actors come in because we have a larger throughput, and we only get an hour to bang out as many people as possible.
I believe she's a priestess, so I'm just gonna make her just a bit more paler or dead looking.
I'm making him a burn victim. He's going in the electrical room. He's going to be playing with sparks and whatnot. So, we're trying to burn him up just a little bit.
Biggest phobias we have is there's 2 of them. One is the chainsaw, and the next would be clowns.
Clowns!
Dark.
I hate clowns.
Chainsaw guy. Skid off.
Definitely chainsaw guy, my worst fear ever.
I think the most memorable times would be when you actually get them either to A, either pants, or B, to cry on the way out. That is the most memorable.
Sometimes the insanity calls for a padded room.
People decide to run through those rooms, mainly the chainsaw room. Once people get chased by a chainsaw, they sort of fly into the wall. So after a couple of years of doing that, we decided to put mattresses on the wall.
At Fright World, they assault the senses, shocking and scaring unsuspecting victims from every angle.
Sometimes you can see, sometimes you can't see. I dare you to touch something in some of these houses. You'll be surprised at what you see, what you feel, even what you smell sometimes.
There's a strategy to cooking up the creeps. It all works best when you least expect it.
That's why people have fun, because we come at them from every different direction. That's a scare, and that's fun.
Up next, the ghosts of St. Louis are asking, who let the dogs out? A maze of ramshackle industrial buildings in downtown St. Louis has become a gateway to fear. If you've got the guts, take a step into the darkness. Larry Kirchner is the maestro behind this warehouse of madness.
In the darkness, our goal is to scare you, frighten you, make you jump, make you scream, make you squeal.
The darkness starts on the first floor with a trip to a decrepit temple of fear. A crypt of Egyptian artifacts that would have Indiana Jones running for his life.
One of my favorite things is the big giant attacking T-Rex, the three-headed dog, and all the incredible scenery.
Then upstairs, you move into a terrifying world where your blood runs cold.
You experience a mansion, a haunted mansion, a graveyard, creepy swamps. It's everything that you ever thought a haunted house should be.
The darkness is a conspiracy of computer graphics and graphic creatures that are the picture of horror.
Be quiet, I will silence.
You're in rooms where the floors are shaking all over the place. When we do a gory scene, we want, it to be gory.
There are even smell machines that deliver a shot of odious odors.
Air cannons, which are very small but get a huge reaction, because when an air cannon goes boom, people will freak out, and all it is a sudden burst of air. This is insane.
The darkness is a collision of agitated crowds and animatronics.
They're all dead, but then they must be, mustn't they?
Instilling this much fear and panic is no small job.
We work on it from the day we close, the beginning of November, and we work on it all the way into the hour we open. And there's a lot of labor, a lot of creativity.
They know I'm looking for a new bride. I have plenty of rings waiting just for my new wives. These are all my last wives. I got dinner for all you little ones.
Yummy. It was everything.
We have approximately up to about 50 to 75 people working in the haunted house itself. They put makeup on, it approximately takes probably about 45 minutes. Me, sometimes it takes like an hour to put my makeup on.
This is no small operation to run an attraction of this level. I would say don't try it at home.
And striking terror into the hearts of guests is something of a science.
Some people have fear of the dark, claustrophobia, spiders, rats, snakes. And there's just different things that scare different people.
The guy with the pig head comes out with a chainsaw and he acts like he's gonna saw your stomach.
And like the whole bride and groom thing, when the chick was like, I want my groom, I want my groom. Oh my God.
Are you my groom?
The craziest thing that I did see was the little kid, okay? It was like some straight out of a horror movie.
And I doesn't want to play with you. Are you ready to die?
I think the mirrors are the things that scared me the most.
The mirrors? That was so confusing.
Yeah, we got lost.
Fresh frights are constantly conjured up to keep you on the edge of your sanity.
In a haunted house, you're Jamie Lee Curtis. We are taking you and making you the Scream Queen. You are the star of the movie.
Hair-raising terrors and bone-rattling scares make the darkness a deadly destination.
Now people are traveling all over the world to see haunted houses. We have people coming here for the first time from Australia, from Germany. There's people all over the United States, all over the world that love haunted houses, that love Halloween, that still wish at 40 years old they could trick or treat. They love Halloween more than anything. Everybody else should come, and especially the ones who say, I'm too old for a haunted house. You're not. Get over here.
It's all about feeling more alive by dropping in on the dead.
Are you hungry?
In the sinister hills and forests outside St. Louis, you'll find a haunted scream park that gives new meaning to the word boo. Creepy World is is a dark labyrinth of 5 chilling realms that will tingle your spine and shatter your nerves.
We have a cornfield, a traditional haunted house, a mutant zombie attraction, and I even have a hayride.
Jim Kelly is one of the dark geniuses behind this mind-numbing debauchery.
Scaring is an adrenaline rush. It's about as close as you can get to getting a high without actually using something to get a high. We're organic, I guess you could say.
And Creepy World takes the art of the scare to a new level. This unnerving trip through 5 acres of horrifying frights begins with what seems like a typical haunted house, Raven's Manor.
It's a very ornate, decorative haunted house. Inside of it, you're going to go through a study and a bedroom.
You got all kinds of weird people in there and babies tied to walls. It's creepy.
There's a lot of dead pigs.
Yes.
Like randomly
pigs hanging from the ceiling and heads.
It also has a really cool new section that we just created called Grizzly's Graveyard, which has zombies coming out from everywhere. It's really scary.
And then you head outside.
The next part of Creepy World is a cornfield. We actually grew real corn.
You have a chainsaw that comes after you. The farmer himself, who apparently has chopped up people.
It gets really intense inside there.
Then sit back and relax. It's time for an authentic Western-style hayride. Sounds nice, doesn't it? A lovely ride through the country. But think again. More like a journey through Dante's Inferno.
And you got crazy cowboys jumping out from everywhere. They attack each other, and then they jump on the trailer and they try to get at you.
Creepy people get on the ride with you, and that's like something I've never seen before in any haunted houses I've been at.
The jolts come from everywhere. And if you're not already spooked, it's about to get really weird. It's called Silo X. You could call it the X-Files on steroids.
Something went wrong. There was a big chemical spill. Everybody died and came back to life as mutated zombies.
And they're gravely serious about their jobs.
Expect to get the pants scared off you. What do you think?
Sometimes it gets in their head so much that they don't break character even when we're closed.
All we know is that it is nuclear back there. It's dangerous. Take a couple Tylenol and you'll be fine.
And it is probably possible that some of them never break character even in regular life.
So if your night to howl includes heading for hell in a hay wagon, better fire up for Creepy World.
Why in my cornfield?
Coming up, a horrible haunt in Delaware has a captive audience. In Middletown, Delaware, a giant skull grins from a cornfield, and you know you've found it. 1,700 acres dedicated to all things dark and demented. Frightland.
Everybody in Delaware knows Frightland.
It's like what you would expect in a horror movie, like people jumping out at you.
People love Frightland. I mean, it's amazing. We've had people come up from Georgia just to come to Frightland.
I've seen a really big person that you would not think would be scared drop to the ground.
It's all just bloody fun.
Frightland started about 12 years ago with some friends of mine on a whim. We had this old barn out here, and we decided one year just to try to do some charitable work and have a little haunted house and maybe make a contribution to a local charity.
The scares are built around the fictional life story of the mad doctor, Thaddeus Idalia.
The story is Thaddeus Adalia lived here years ago, and his daughter hung herself in the barn, and it just turned him mad. He went crazy and started doing mad experiments on people.
Prowling through the park at night puts you face to face with enormous animatronics, but scaring the life out of their victims requires the human touch.
We don't feel that we can ever replace the live actor. You can't replace it with an animatronic. It's just an in-your-face scare.
Frightland's 8 attractions employ 140 paid actors who get their freak on and lash out from the darkness to make your day.
You know, I'll creep up behind someone and I'll go on their shoulders or on their head, you know, just move my hands across it, and it gets a pretty good start on because you don't expect it.
At sunset, the actors suit up backstage for their monstrous mission.
Over here we've got people getting prosthetics, and we wait in line and people get airbrushed. And as for me, I skip through all of it and I just go straight to blood. Me, I will be getting sawed in half.
It begins with a visit to the haunted Idalia Manor.
Please enter. I don't want to go first. Okay, come on. I'm not going first.
If you think the guy up front will protect you, be warned. The ghouls go for the man in the middle.
The first person to go through usually isn't the first person to get scared. They're more likely the first person to get startled. Usually it's actually the middle person that gets scared the most, because most people wait for the middle person and then jump out.
When plunging into this den of devils, it pays to have an exit strategy.
Oh my God, my heart is pounding.
The next stop is Reedy Point Penitentiary, where you won't get the warmest welcome.
Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going.
In this twisted prison, it's the guards that spark your interest, just before they throw you under the bus. Once you've made a break for it, your only means of escape is the haunted hayride and a country fresh collection of creeps.
Where'd it go? Everything floats around here.
By the time you come through, you're scared of your own shadow.
Very lovable little creatures out there, yet frightening.
It's a stimulus package for your heart and a harvest of nightmares from the back 40 to 6 foot under. Next, deep in the guts of Texas, killer clowns are on the loose. Down in the Lone Star State, killer cowboys have hit the trail and are staging demonic delights at the Mansion of Terror. This once happy place has been overrun by psychotic clowns and ghastly sideshows.
Y'all ready? Pa's been ready all night. Want to play?
We really like where the patrons get to interact with the environment. So our patrons are actually going through the scenes and actually a part of the haunted house storyline. Patrons have to find their way out of the haunted house, and beyond that, the patrons have to make choices in the haunted house, and those choices will have consequences on other members of their group.
And victims will confront undead actors who aren't shy about getting up in your face.
What other job can you have where you get to take out all your weekly frustrations out on patrons, and it's encouraged?
Oh my God, it's so
God. You about killed her. Come on, honey.
I thought the scariest part was when they would come down from the ceiling. I didn't expect that at all.
It gets you way more excited than a horror movie because it gets in your face and really gets your adrenaline flowing.
But before they terrorize the public, actors have to look the part. And you're not going to find any Texas beauty queens here.
Prosthetic appliance is foam latex. It's baked. Then you glue the appliance to your face, and as you can see, pretty much changes the features. It's going to be like more higher cheekbones, whatnot, you know, a nose.
You can't just do one layer. You have to do multiple layers of different things in order to create the right effect. So it looks more three-dimensional instead of one-dimensional. I use a lot of blood. The gorier, the better.
Plenty of blood is on tap for the occasion.
There, I'll do you last.
A little spritz keeps the performers high on hemoglobin.
This is my favorite part, definitely. We usually go through 1 gallon to 1.5 gallons every weekend. The week of Halloween, I'll probably do 3 to 5 gallons.
Actors do 90% of the work, but animatronics are great when we need to actually scare people. They look at something, they think it's not going to move. A second later, it's in their face. The level of detail is the same as in a Hollywood movie. We paint the props, we get them, we change the colors, and it just brings a whole new level of scare to our haunted house.
We went from our exit polling from a couple years ago, and we took what our patrons wanted, and we asked them, what do you want in a haunted house? And surprisingly, the first response we got back was, we wanted more blood and gore. And the second response was, we wanted to see more clowns and more chainsaws.
Clowns usually put a smile on your face, but not these dreadful jesters.
I was infatuated by clowns. I just thought they were always funny and entertaining.
You want to play with Bobo, boy? Bobo wants to play with you.
And it's just fun to joke around with people. I've done the whole zombie thing and all that, but being a clown was just so much fun.
Oh, boy, you smell great. Come on, go.
And if you think you can hide from these jokers, well, the joke's on you.
There's a lot of psychology that goes on behind how you scare a group of patrons. And so everyone hides the scaredy cats in the middle of the group. And they don't realize that we know that, and we prey on that. And so there's strategies where you get the frat guy or the cowboy in the front of the group, so we'll scare them from up high or down low.
Hey there, sweetie pie!
We didn't think we were ever going to get out. It's just like you're trapped in there forever. You can tell yourself all you want that it's not real, and it's still just as scary.
The ghouls at the mansion don't care if you make it out alive. They know you'll be back for more.
Bye, y'all! We'll see you guys next time, don't worry! We'll definitely see you guys next time.
Coming up, the demons of Pittsburgh are getting all dolled up. Where 3 rivers intersect in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 3 venues of violence collide at the Scare House. A combination of traditional ghouls, primal fears, and the latest in dance floor dementia.
You know, the first one, Hall of Nightmares, that one is very heavily detailed and very much influenced by old school horror movies.
Stay out of my kitchen, get out.
Tales from the Crypt, a little bit of dark humor in it.
Here, there's a who's who of scare tacticians. From rotting corpses to possessed babysitters. If you've seen these creeps in your nightmares, at the Scare House you meet them face to face.
Because it was a theater at one point, it has this old crumbling marquee out front. That's the first thing you see when you come in, is it feels like an old, kind of creepy, kind of beat up, past its prime theater. And that sort of lends itself into that first haunt. The last part of it, we actually used an existing part of the building that the public never got to go into for this giant, massive furnace set.
Oh, you're running like the rest, aren't you? You think you can run? You think you can hide?
As that wraps, we sort of feel, okay, that's a good point to totally take you 180 degrees and go into Delirium 3D.
The delirium is not for the faint of heart, but it could lead to the faint of hearing. It's a pulse-pounding combination of chills and raves, where the frights come fast and furious, and the guests leave disoriented and disturbed. visual technology called Delirium 3D adds extra dimension to the madness.
Welcome to the best party ever! All my friends are here! Come join us!
3D glasses bring depth to the dread.
And that's just, we like to say that kind of just sort of resets the brain and gets you into a fun state. Again, pushing different kinds of buttons than the first time.
Enjoy yourself, it's the best party ever!
It all ends at the Screamatorium, where they pour on the gore.
You know, that's the more graphic, scary stuff. That's the one we find where you see the most people running. We have seen people crawling out on hands and knees. We have seen loss of body function.
The Screamatorium features HMO-style scares, where the doctor is always out of his mind.
All right. Who's ready for their appointment? Come on. No! Right this way. And make sure you think the dentist on your way out.
Here, the zombies lead a sinister double life.
I'm a web developer.
And they're handpicked according to strict criteria.
I'm the tallest, skinniest guy that they know, so I'm the guy that they picked.
At the Scare House, you're the star of your own personal fright flick.
It's not like a passive experience where you're sitting and watching a horror movie and you can just turn it off or say, oh, it's too scary. It should really feel like you're in this, you don't know how it's going to end, and you just got to see it all the way through.
The baby doll room was really creepy because they had like real photographs and it just made it more real.
And the shocks just keep on coming.
Because it keeps it like that roller coaster.
When it comes to gore, the butchers at the Scare House prefer last year's leftovers, giving them plenty of time to ripen and ferment.
A lot of our sets, especially in Screamatorium, something really wet and messy happened, but it was about 10 years ago.
By the time it all comes to a screaming halt, you got what you came for.